Good morning, School of Light. We are in number 31. For those of you who don't know who School of Light is, my name is Seferino Beta. I'm the president of the nonprofit School of Light. It is a Bible study correspondence course. So, if you wanted a structural, doctrinally sound Bible study, you just request it. It's never going to cost you anything. We send it to you, you answer it, you send it back, we grade it, we make record. When you finish the series, we send you a series of completion, certificate of completion, and some of these courses through the mail actually can translate into college credit. So let's hop right to it. If you want Bible studies, let me know. Otherwise, let's jump into Numbers chapter 31. We're reading through the Bible in these video series. Vengeance on the Midianites. The Lord said to Moses, "Take vengeance on the Midianites for the Israelites. After that, you'll be gathered to your people." Moses said to the people, "Arm some of your men to go to war against the Midianites, to carry out the Lord's vengeance on them. Send them into battle, 1,000 men from each tribe of Israel." So 12,000 men armed for battle, 1,000 from each tribe, were supplied from the clans of Israel. Moses sent them in a battle, 1,000 from each tribe, along with Phinehas, son of Eleazar, the priest, who took with him articles from the sanctuary and the trumpets for signal. They fought against Midian, as the Lord commanded Moses, and killed every man. Among their victims were Evi, Rechem, Zur, Hur, and Reba, the 5 kings of Midian. They also killed Balaam, the son of Beor, with the sword. The Israelites captured the Midianite women and children and took all the Midianite herds and flocks and goods as plunder. They burned all. Let me find out. They burned all the towns where the Midianites had settled, as well as their camps. They took all the plunder and spoils, including the people and animals, and brought the captive spoils and plunder to Moses and Eleazar the priest and the Israelite assembly at the camp at the plains of Moab by the Jordan across Jericho. Moses, Eleazar the priest, and all the leaders of the community went to meet them outside of the camp. Moses was angry with the officers of the army, the commanders of thousands and the commanders of hundreds, who returned from the battle. "Have you allowed all the women to live?" he asked. They were the ones who followed Balaam's advice and were the means of turning Israel away from the Lord, and what happened at Peor. So the plague struck the Lord's people. "Now kill all the boys and kill every woman who has slept with a man, but save for yourselves every girl who has never slept with a man. All of you who have killed anyone or touched anyone who has killed must stay outside the camp for 7 days. On the third day and seventh day, you must purify yourselves and your captives. Purify every garment as well as everything made of leather, goat hair, or wood." Then Eleazar the priest said to the soldiers who had gone into the battle, "This is the requirement of the law the Lord gave Moses. Gold, silver, bronze, iron, tin, lead, and everything else that can withstand fire must be put through the fire, and then it will be clean. But it must also be purified with water of cleansing, and whatever cannot stand fire must be put through the water. On the seventh day, wash your clothes, and you will be clean. Then you may come into the camp." The Lord said to Moses, "You and Eleazar the priest and the family heads of the community are to count all the people and the animals that were captured. Divide the spoils between you who took part in the battle and the rest of the community. From the soldiers who fought in the battle, set apart as tribute for the Lord one out of every 500, whether persons, cattle, donkeys, sheep, or goats. Take this tribute from their half of share and give it to Eleazar the priest as the Lord's part. From the Israelites' half, select one out of every 50, whether persons, cattle, donkeys, sheep, goats, or other animals. Give them to the Levites, who are responsible for the care of the Lord's tabernacle." So Moses and Eleazar the priest did as the Lord commanded Moses. The plunder remaining from the spoils that the soldiers took was 675,000 sheep, 72,000 cattle, 61,000 donkeys, and 32,000 women who have never slept with a man. The half share of those who fought in the battle was 337,500, 36,000 cattle, 32,500 donkeys, and 16,000 people. And the one out of the 500, the Lord's tribute was 675 sheep out of 337,500, 72 out of 36,000, 61 donkeys out of the 30,500 half, and 32 women out of the 32,000 original, or 16,000 half. Moses gave the tribute to Eleazar the priest as the Lord's part, as the Lord had commanded Moses. The half belonging to the Israelites, Moses set apart from that of the fighting men. The community's half was 337,500 sheep, 36,000 cattle, 30,500 donkeys, and 16,000 people. From the Israelites' half, Moses selected one out of every 50 persons and animals as the Lord commanded him, and gave excuse me, and gave them to the Levites, who were responsible for the care of the Lord's tabernacle. Then the officers who were over the units of the army, the commanders of thousands and commanders of hundreds, went to Moses and said to him, "Your servant have counted the soldiers under your command, and not one is missing. So we have brought as an offering to the Lord the gold articles each of us has acquired, armlets, bracelets, signet rings, earrings, and necklaces, to make atonement for ourselves before the Lord." Moses and Eleazar the priest accepted from them the gold and all the crafted articles. All the gold from the commanders of thousands, commanders of hundreds, and Moses and Eleazar presented to as gifts of the Lord weighed 16,750 shekels. Each soldier had taken plunder for himself. Moses and Eleazar the priest accepted the gold from the commanders of thousands and commanders of hundreds and brought it into the tent of meeting as a memorial for the Israelites before the Lord. 16,750 shekels. So, in summary, and we're at 7 minute mark. In summary, to give you a little bit of backdrop if you're just tuning in, there was this guy named Balaam, and he was like a prophet. And Midian tried to hire Balaam by paying him whatever he asked, pretty much up to half of this guy's kingdom. And Balaam was going to go and talk to these guys and curse Israel so that Israel would lose against the battle against the Midianites. But there was the angel that was going to strike him down, and the Balaam's donkey kept on avoiding the angel, which essentially saved Balaam's life. And he had a encounter where the donkey spoke, right? So long story short, this is a couple chapters later. Balaam didn't curse God's people because he said, how can I'm not able to do anything on my own. God's the one who does it. And how can I curse what God has blessed? And so the, I guess they formulated a plan to seduce Israel. So they had some women, and they had invited these Israelite men to go to their festivals, and they're having probably having sex. The Ashtoreth was a god that was like a pole, Ashtoreth pole, and they would worship it and have sex around it. Sometimes it was temple prostitutes. Maybe it was the congregation or the people themselves. But anyhow, when the men of Israel did that, of course the Lord knew about it, and he told Moses, and then this plague broke out in the community where they were getting sick and dying until one of the guys had drove a spear through one of the men and the Midianite women that he had there with him. And so that stopped the plague. And for retribution, I guess you could say, or for God's purposes, he had Israel attack Midian, and one of the reasons is because they had seduced Israel and nearly turned their community, a whole community, against the Lord and into this Ashtoreth worship. So he says, go and fight them. And of course, what we read was 1,000 from each tribe. That was 12,000 total. They had a huge amount of plunder, 72,000 donkeys, something like that, or 70,000 cattle, huge amounts of cattle, huge amounts of sheep, donkeys, and so they took that as plunder and gave it to the half of it was going to the soldiers, and then the other half was the community share, which is interesting. The soldiers were 12,000, the community's probably a million, and they got half. Why? They were on the front lines. They were on the front lines. Many of them died, I'm sure. Look at the difference of compensation. Now, you pay a soldier $2,000, $3,000 a month. Hey, go over there, and you can take over a country like Iraq with billions of dollars in oil, and these soldiers still get $30,000 a year, 40,000. In this case, in the Bible, it seems like they said, okay, this in today's warfare, that would be like, I don't know, say Iraq had a worth of a oil worth of $1 trillion. That's like saying, okay, well, you soldiers, we're gonna have you split 500 billion among you, 75,000 or 100,000 soldiers. Then the rest we're gonna give to the United States. It's a way different. And that's chapter 30. I'm trying to keep these under 10 minutes. It's already at 11 and a half. If you want Bible studies that are sent through the mail, give me a call. Notify me. Check out School of Light on Facebook. You can check out schooloflight.org. God bless. Have a good day.